Hey guys, welcome back to my mess of a desk. By the way, this is kind of what ADHD looks like if you ever want to know. It's just kind of a mess of 1,000 ideas all rolled into one table. And my trick is I always keep my mess on one table at most. I'm not allowed to expand beyond this. So my other table to the right is purely for finished projects. The two bookshelves I have, they're off camera. I won't show you just yet. Maybe show that in a different video. But those are all for finished painted models, and hopefully one day they'll be, actually sorted out. But here I wanted to show you my current mini project. So, minor update: entire army is going to be Krieg instead of Acadians, more or less. It doesn't really change anything. I'm using the same models, but I will be having to kitbash medics. All you have to do is add a bunch of these bags to infantry, paint a cross on them, probably give a red helmet to the medics instead, and that's all. I'm also going to be getting more more infantry, not Acadians, more Italian infantry to bulk out the army to 120. But I thought I'd show you this. I did another priest. Now, Ministorum priests honestly suck right now, so, I'm probably not really going to do anything with this guy until maybe next edition. But, yeah, I was going to originally use the saw gun thing, chainsaw blade. It's from the Ash Waste Nomads. I was going to use this for my second tech priest, but I decided against it because I did make a second tech priest. That's what all the actual stuff I'm working on get at their own base. Or third tech priest, sorry. So I now have this new tech priest. It's hard to see. His head is one of those the Bane blade gunners with the laser sight thing. It's hard to see. You'll see it when it's all painted up. I gave him a sledgehammer, a bolter on his backpack, and he's got a House Cawdor body, a Bane blade commander hand, I believe. Looking at it, I think it's a tank commander hand, arm, whatever. Then again, though, it's also got the shoulder pad and the elbow, so it might be from the Rogaldorn. Either way, I used an old style 40k. I believe it's actually Horus Heresy, those Knight Crusader looking guys, one of their backpacks. So I got a kit of them a long time ago. I've kind of been stealing their bits. Same for the bolter. But anyway, that's my next tech priest. Glued him onto a base there. He's going to be, and you can also see half of these are already finished projects. Like the body used to be, I painted him up as like a weird cultist guy, but I don't really have a use for that. Backpack I painted for an old, what I had done was I actually painted a bunch of Crusader kind of Space Marines that were Firstborn sized, which is a problem obviously because Primaris happened, so I just kind of tore them apart for bits now. But other than that, I have two servo skulls that were kit bashed. Now this first one was definitely a rougher one. This was the first one I made, so I just kind of rammed everything together so it looked like it fit. I used these two things from the Tomb King banner along with the head, which is also a Tomb King banner head. Glued them all together to a Adeptus Sororitas backpack. That's a Space Marine, what do they call them? Crest. Roman crest. Or horsehair crest, I guess, because Romans weren't the only ones who used it, Greeks and all that too. But yeah, gave him a crest. This is from the House Delac. They're those weird guys. There's a bell from the Skaven. I trimmed off you can kind of see the rough texture. I trimmed off the Skaven thing that's from the Plague Rats. And this is just supposed to be a stone there. My second version, I actually think I did a lot better. I took the fuel thing for a Sisters of Battle heavy weapons team. My fiance kind of started collecting Sisters of Battle. She's got one kit so far. But I'm going to wait for her to paint it before I get her more. But I attached that to a Sisters of Battle backpack, which I then added a Ogre Kingdoms top knot kind of thing here. And I added another Tomb King skull with a little engraving thing there. And that's the second. Honestly, I really like this one better. I'm kind of debating it. I might tear this one apart and build a second one of these because I was looking in a box and found another of those. But it doesn't matter. Another thing, set up another Imperium kind of little objective marker kind of thing, just for the fun of it. I just like those little things. I found out Lord Sol Leontis is not on an oval base, as cool as this guy is. So, I grabbed... Sorry, I'm holding a camera in one hand, using the other to grab stuff. I made this as his current... This is an actual Leontis base size, an 80mm base. But I thought, you know what? No point wasting this guy. I can run him on this base as Dreyer, right? Or Dreer, however you say that. Lord Marshal Dreer, the Krieg guy. But you'll notice the 2 chunks of metal. And you'll notice the magnets. I can actually lock this guy in. I made the sand in such a way. You can see it lines up and he kind of locks in there. That side doesn't lock in properly. There we go. Now this is how it's supposed to lock in. And yeah, it's just kind of a trench or a base expansion for him to run as Lord Solar. Oh, this is my next current project, which I actually have his rifle here. This is a Kitbash old Cadian lasgun attached to a House Cawdor lasgun because this original one had a hand holding the ammo pack. I trimmed it up. This is what we ended up with. That's going to be his rifle. Because here's the thing. I realized I do run my command squads with melta guns and plasma guns. I do not run the banner. But like, that's kind of the whole point of the guard, isn't it? Is running banners. So I'm working on this guy. He's going to be holding a lasgun in his left hand. And I already made a bannerman here. So, first of all, this guy's going to also be a bannerman. Sorry, correction. This guy's going to be something else because he has an old Cadian body, which is really cool and all. But I'm actually going to make my bannerman out of old great sword. Sorry, I'm trying to show the camera. Old great sword bits. You can actually see I still got some blue on that guy. Either way, I'm going to be using Empire greatsword bodies. You can also see this was actually another finished project with the Empire greatswords. And I turned them into bits because I'm going to get just a new kit for the old world. This is an old 10th Legion banner thing I made. This was from when I was very early on, so I couldn't really write or freehand at all. Sorry, it won't focus. Doesn't really matter. In the end, I gave him an Empire greatsword body and legs. His head is a conquistador head. I actually gave him the wreath from a Perry Miniatures Knight kit. Left arm has one of those Cadian shoulder plates, I think from a tank commander. The actual left arm itself is a Cadian arm, but I'm not sure from what. I think it was the turret, the guy who holds the turret from the Rogel Dorn, if you make it as a person actually aiming it. I cut off the hand, though, and turned it into an Italian infantry hand that was open. And then, actually, I'll show you that after. First, the right arm, meanwhile, is a conquistador arm holding a spear. Trimmed off the spear, cut up the back of this a bit so it would fit. And I put a Roman, a Roman Aquila on the top there. So that way it looks like, a very Roman or Italian kind of flag. Base is just dirt, super glue, hot glue, and all that. Chunk of wood. That chunk of specifically, it doesn't matter, coffee stirrer. The gun is a Italian light machine gun from the Italian kit from Wargames Atlantic. The ammo pack, I couldn't actually find a spare, so I used the Sludgehammer head from the Baneblade kit because you get a spare. The gun itself is actually the spare nub from, I want to say Fireforge Elf kit. I'm fairly sure it's an Elf kit from the banner. I trimmed that off a long time ago. If I can find it, I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to see if I can find what I tore it from. Okay, found it. This thing was something I tried to kit bash a long time ago, and of course I dropped on the floor. Doesn't matter, really. I tore it apart anyway, so it was a thing I tried to kit bash a long time ago. It doesn't really matter. In short, I've got this guy holding an auto gun of some sort. It'll count as a las gun, obviously. Where'd my other banner guy go? Because it doesn't matter. I'll be working on him in a second. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. We've got a new Ministorm Priest. We got a Tech Priest. Bannerman. We'll have another Bannerman somewhere in there. 2 Servo Skulls for... Oh, I didn't tell you why I had the Servo Skulls. The Krieg Command Squad has it comes with a servo skull that you can then take off to spend. You spend the servo skull to issue a third order for the Lord Commissar. And you know what? I'm gonna show you actually why. Just a sec, give me a sec. And we are back. So, sorry, here I've got all my guys over here, but the most important is this guy. Oh, I almost threw him on the ground as well. Caught him luckily. This is my Lord Commissar. Really liked him, but the problem is he's a Commissar model, right? But that's kind of... I also kind of wasted those bits there. I could have made another Imperium little thing. Objective marker. Doesn't matter, though. But this guy's a Commissar, which is cool and all, but on a basic Cadian squad, it doesn't really stick out, because, you know, they're not supposed to have a Commissar. But this guy will be alongside him now to issue an extra order, and then I just take him off the field. And obviously, 2. Sorry, where'd the second one go? Here he is. 2 for 2 command squads. And that's kind of the best I'll be running, is 2 command squads at most. Current plan is, like I said, I'm going to buy more Italians, probably going to get 96 again. That'll give me 60 to tear away to turn into Cadians / Kriegsmen, so that'll bring my infantry to 120. Then we will have another 20 towards making more Kasserkin, almost certainly, and that'll leave the last 16, I think, to be torn apart to use on to build up heavy weapons teams. Like, I already have as many heavy weapons teams as I can run, but I'll add a second guy to each base, because right now it's currently 1 at most. And any others will be used to essentially fill up artillery teams and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick kind of rundown of my current project, where we're going. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next time.